What's up, everybody? It's Art Boy. I'm back with another episode, and this episode is just a end of the year wrap up episode. I'm gonna go through some of my top movies and music and songs and all of that good stuff lists because it's the end of the year, and why not? Disclaimer: one, none of my list is dependent on what's most famous or popular or anything like that. Definitely not a definitive list of the best of the best, but definitely just my list of what struck me this year, what inspired me this year, what was eye catching to me this year. So let's go. Let's start off small. Let's go with book. So one of the major books that I read this year is The Richest Man in Babylon. And I really like this book because I think it's beautiful storytelling, but at the same time, they talk about money and investment while telling this beautiful story, giving this beautiful journey of the main character in the book. Now, the two biggest takeaway for me, one, investing in yourself, and two, protecting your investments. I genuinely believe in investing in yourself, your journey, your craft, whatever it is that you love to do. And I also believe that you should protect that at all costs. My second thing this year, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but two of my top podcasts that I listened to this year a lot was The Crew Has It. It's hosted by Braden and Tariq from the Power Universe. They have a lot of stars on there. They have a lot of people from the crew on there. And I think it strikes a balance between, film and TV and entertainment and just all around a lot of laughs. And then my second podcast that I listen to, No Film School Podcast. They're amazing. They give a lot of valuable information. And if you are a inspiring or, just starting up when it comes to film, and media or anything like that, then you could definitely should be listening to No Film School podcast. So definitely those two podcasts are my favorite. It's The Crew Has It and also No Film School. Those are my top podcasts for this year. Now let's get into some more exciting thing. Let's start with shows. So overall, my number one show that I watched this year is hands down, House of the Dragon. Game of Thrones is legendary. House of the Dragon is definitely, I can already see it's going to be legendary. I love it. The storytelling. You do have to be a little bit patient when it comes to House of Dragons because the episodes, the time jump, it's a little bit slow and it takes on a certain pace, just like the original Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is my number one show this year. So let's get into some other shows that I really like this year. Again, my list is not in any particular order, but Blackbird. Blackbird on Apple TV. Apple has been doing a good job with the shows and the movies that they've been putting out, but Blackbird really stuck out to me this year. It's drama, it's intense. The actors, they're very intense, and it just holds your attention the whole time. Plus, it's great cinematography. I do think that the Apple streaming service, in terms of the shows and movies that they make, they have a certain look, they have a certain feel, and it's very much on brand with Apple. Simple, clean, but still elegant. Still entertaining, still funny, still able to hold your attention with as less as possible. The next show for me this year was From Scratch. Now, From Scratch is emotional. It's terrific storytelling. I love the contrast and the parallels that they use for relationships between parents and kids, relationship between parent and parent, relationship between partners, or even just relationship between cultures. Go and watch From Scratch. It's on Netflix. This one is on my list for a very specific reason. It's Pennyworth. This is the story or origin story of Batman's butler, Alfred Pennyworth. And I love this show. The first season was phenomenal. And I mean, the second season, third season, it's okay. But in terms of cinematography and just colors and composition and how they execute this show, love it, love it, love it. That is my top show list or top shows that I watched this year. So my next list that I want to go to is films. One of my favorite films this year is definitely The Woman King. I love The Woman King. All the actors in it was phenomenal. They held their own. They did their thing. They did the stunts. They did the choreograph. By the way, in that film is phenomenal. All those fight scenes are phenomenal. It's great filmmaking. It's great storytelling. There is a few twists in there. Like overall, just great, hands down, great film. My next film is not a surprise because it's a fan favorite, but what's gonna be a surprise is my next film is Avatar. Because the irony is, I never watched Avatar, the first one, until the night before I actually watched the actual Avatar Part Two. Which, to be honest, I did fall asleep in, did fall asleep a couple of times for that movie Part One, but I still understood what it mean. And going into Avatar Two, it didn't really take away anything because Avatar Two kind of stands on its own. Phenomenal filmmaking. James Cameron did his thing. Next film on my list is Nope by Jordan Peele. Obviously, Jordan Peele, hands down, great, great, great writer, great director, and the actors that's in that film is phenomenal. You know, Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, like everybody in that film did their thing. Everybody held up their end of the bargain, and the film overall came out beautiful. So here's a film that I watched. I actually watched this film a couple of days ago. Glass Onion. It's in my list simply because one, the storytelling is phenomenal. How they cut up the story, how they go back and show different perspective, how they play out the whole thing. It's phenomenal for those reasons. Of course, the cinematography, the direction, the action, and the actors. Oh my God, they were on point in that film. So Glass Onion, it's on Netflix now, so you definitely should go check it out. Another film that's on my list, but it's more like an honorable mention, is Bullet Train. Now, Bullet Train has a lot of stars in there, so it brings a lot of star power. So, Bullet Train cinematography and also their storytelling is A1. The second honorable mention is a film that's on Hulu. Is called Good Luck Leo Grand. It's executed great. It's all kind of take place in one room, and so I thought that was phenomenal because it takes a different level of skill to able to hold someone's attention for an hour and 35 minutes in one setting or in one room for the most part. And that is my list wrapped up for movies this year. Let's switch gear. Let's go to music. So let's do my top albums and top songs and artists of the year. Let's start with just singular songs and music. So overall, one of my favorite, probably my top song this year was Party Time by Nine Sia. Uh, and he features another artist. And yes, this song is a Jamaican song, a dancehall song. It's nice. The vibes is nice. It's almost like a quintessential at this point. It feels like a quintessential summer song, but the song was released a little bit after the summer. But you know, if you have a chance, definitely go and check out Party Time by Nine Sia. My next song that I really love this year is Toxic by Vito HD. Now, Vito HD is my boy, but by no means did I put this song on this list because he's my boy. I actually really love this song. It has a great story. Check out the music video. I definitely directed and shot the music video, so check that out too as well on YouTube. It's Toxic by Vito HD. Next song in my top 5 list is Raijin King Therapy. Now, this song really struck a chord with me because, you know, this artist, he went through some traumatic stuff this year and, you know, he decided to sing about that. And the one thing that this song has is a lot of pain in it. To me, it's like it just goes to show, you know, taking your real life experience and putting it into art. You know, and this is what he did, and that's why that song hit me so hard. My next favorite song is Mel Made Me Do It, followed by God Did. Hands down, two of the most lyrically poet song this year. But Mel Made Me Do It by Stormzy, phenomenal track. He went super hard on that track. He made so many fire references on that track. He just like went off on the track from start to finish. Definitely check out those two songs. And those are like my two favorite songs this year, or in my top 5 favorite songs this year. Now, there's a song that I want to mention, and it's by an artist called Marion Bulu. I think Bulu is her last name, and it's called Overflow. And then she also has another song that is called I Found. And if you never heard of this artist, definitely go and check her out. So, in fact, there's a few trending songs on TikTok and Instagram Reels that she's the voice behind and she's the one that covered it. Now, these two artists are two artists that I'm gonna deem as artists of the year, but they're from Jamaica. And to me, Skilly Bang and Valiant Music, Skilly Bang did their thing this year. Pull up any Valiant song this year, and it's a bop. It's a hit, And Skilly Bang definitely did his thing this year. He was featured in a lot of different songs, international songs, local songs. He did his thing overall. So Skilly Bang and Valiant, they're kind of my favorite sort of Jamaican artists of the year this year. So definitely check out their music. My final list is album of the year. Now, I want to start at the bottom. So, album of the year, my honorable mention, and I love this guy. My honorable mention for album of the year is Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. And listen, people say he raps about the same thing all the time, but to me, I don't care because guess what? He figured out what he wants to talk about and he's perfected the art of talking about it and still making you be entertained, still selling those records and still being played. So, hands down, one of the best albums this year. So, go check it out. My number 5 album is Black Panther 2 soundtrack album by Ludwig. It was phenomenal. It pulled a lot of elements from the first film and it reinforced a lot of those elements. But in this one, he still managed to bring in different cultures. And in Black Panther, there is the clash between, different but kind of similar cultures, right? But he managed to give these two cultures their own unique identity and still made the album cohesive. It's phenomenal. I listen to it a lot when I'm painting. So yes, Black Panther 2 album by Ludwig was amazing, and that's in the number 5 spot for me. Now, my number 4 spot for my album of the year is Melodic Blues by Baby Keem. Melodic Blues by Baby Keem is honestly, it's emotional if you listen to it the right way. It's great storytelling. It's very artsy. And in my opinion, Baby Keem is a phenomenal creative overall. If you just observe or listen to the intricacies of how he creates music and what he sounds like and his flows and all of that, then you realize like he really knows what he's doing and he's really honing in on what he loves to do and what he does best. My number 3 album for this year is an album with Simba and DJ Drama, and that is Results Take Time. Both of them on this album really was cohesive. It really was entertaining. It really was fun to listen to, and that's why it is my number 3 album this year. This number 2 spot is gonna be surprising to a lot of people because they know this guy's my favorite artist. But my number 2 spot goes to Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers. Love this album. Storytelling, lyricism, dynamic sounds. And this is a guy that's reflecting. He's talking about all the hard subjects that we don't want to talk about when it comes to life and music and experience and family and love and hate and all of that stuff. Like he honed in on every single one of those topics and he made a phenomenal album. Now, my number 1 album this year is Black Sharif. Black Sharif. I don't know if you know him, but if you don't know him, go and look up Black Sharif on Apple Music. His album is The Villain That Never Was. I'm pretty sure that's the name. The Villain That Never Was. Like overall, I love this album. It's the album that I listen to, hands down, listen to the most, and probably listen to it 1,000 times more than every other album. Actually, for a whole week or 2 weeks straight, I was listening to that album alone, and I had it on repeat. So definitely Black Sharif, my #1 album this year. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Out.